Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Dead cast news update.
They are. They're not moving at all.
They're
all twitching
messed
a little. Okay, so first, this a little Walking Dead cast news first. So thank you to the people who've supported us through our new Patreon campaign.
Woo!
Yeah. Our first patron-only call-in show is going to be Friday, November 4th at 4 p.m. Pacific. So we'll take your calls. We'll talk Walking Dead, whatever else comes up. Could be a big group therapy session if you want.
I think it's going to be a nice little happy hour. Grab your favorite frosty cold beverage and join us 4 o'clock on Friday.
And the Facebook group we've got going has been a lot of fun, and it's more interactive because you can post right on the timeline. So that's been pretty active
great.
and fun.
I love it.
And we added a new $2 tier and a new little 10-minute podcast / pitch that Karen and I did. It's like a little mini podcast, top 5 reasons to support our podcasting. You can check all that out at patreon.com/Jason and Karen.
It's fun. And you can see Greg Nicotero choking me out.
There's also, we're going to do a live Walking Dead cast episode in San Francisco on Monday, December 12th to cover the mid-season finale. I don't have details yet, but tickets should be on sale maybe next week and more details to come.
Can't wait for that.
That's going to be fun.
It will.
I wanted to, anything else in The Talking Dead that you thought was notable, or did we already
covered it, man?
Okay. Gimple said he was looking for a way to break the audience, I heard. So, pound Karen over the head.
Well done, sir.
Nice. And did they say something about they all got scripts where each one died, so the actors actually didn't know, except for Stephen Yeun?
I didn't hear that, but maybe he did.
Or Michael Cudlitz. Okay.
I was in a daze.
Okay, next. A lot of Walking Dead fans were posting on Twitter that this episode went too far. I might quit Walking Dead for good. It's an emotional train of death. Quote, goodbye forever, Walking Dead. That was disgusting. The Walking Dead didn't just jump the shark, it pulped it.
Ooh.
I've officially quit watching The Walking Dead after today. Blah, blah, blah. So some of you, I already mentioned, some of you guys felt the same way, but most didn't, as you'll see when we get to listener modes, groans and grunts. But that was in the news, so I reported it.
That's interesting. And by the way, one last thing. I'm sorry to jump back to The Talking Dead, but it started. Did you hear it started raining?
Yeah, there's something about that. Oh, you mentioned it.
Yeah, it was raining, and
they were outside. Huh?
They were outside. Yeah, okay. It was live from the Hollywood Cemetery, and so it was in L.A. Yeah, and it was actually a really neat place, and it poured a bunch of times, and then it didn't. And then it sort of went away, and then it poured again. And they brought out umbrellas, and it was, funny. They made jokes about, it's not tears on my face. I'm not crying, because they showed the whole thing, and then they went right into The Talking Dead.
It's not, I swear.
Yeah, I kept thinking, oh, this is great. It's raining. California needs the rain.
Yes, yeah.
That's how I think.
We appreciate the rain. It's so sad when it rains and you're like, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
rain. Next, there's a new Fear the Walking Dead web series called Passage, directed by showrunner Dave Erickson. It's 16 one-minute shorts, just like Flight 462 was last year. Mm-hmm. Played during the commercial breaks, I guess.
I saw one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zombie stuff.
Yeah.
It looks all right, right? Yeah, it could be cool. I think it might be better to... the 16 1 minutes doesn't work for me. I want to just wait and watch the whole 16-minute thing at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But the synopsis is: a fearsome survivor agrees to help an injured woman in exchange for an apocalyptic sanctuary. Over the course of their harrowing journey, the women go on to face many dangers and learn what they need to survive.
Nice.
So 2 chicks fighting zombies. Next, Walker Stalker Atlanta is this weekend, and it was announced recently that on Saturday, October 29th at 6 p.m., Andrew Lincoln and Lenny James are going to give commentary during a screening of the pilot. So Morgan and, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool.
If you have Walker Stalker tickets, you can go to this for free. It's in the main panel area.
Oh, that's great.
And then after that, hopefully by 7:30 is what we're thinking, but whenever it ends, me and other listeners and other friends, including Chris of the Talking Dead podcast and hopefully Melissa Hutchison, are going to meet at the Latitudes Bar for drinks and fun.
Yay!
And FaceTime with Karen. Next, there's a Walking Dead 360-degree VR experience, I think directed by Greg Nicotero. It's just a short little thing. You can find it on YouTube. I'll put a link in the show notes. If you have Google Cardboard or on YouTube, you can just like scroll around and it's basically you're in a misty forest and then slowly zombies start coming in at you all around. It's really cool.
I've got 2 of those, in fact.
Oh, you do? For your cardboard thing? Check this one out. I think you're going to dig it.
That's great. I will.
Cool. That's it for the news. It's time for our third final sponsor. This is a new one. I couldn't believe this showed up in my sponsor feed. It's the Walker Stalker Cruise.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, it's so great.
I know. So they say, attention all walkers, stalkers, and everything in between. Skybound's The Walking Dead is at it again and ready to bring the post-apocalyptic world to the open ocean. So this is the second annual Walker Stalker Cruise. It's February 3rd through 6th, 2017, going from Miami to Great Stirrup Cay, Bahamas.
That's great.
I had a chance to go to this last year and moderate panels, and I got sick and I couldn't go.
What? Are you going to do it this year?
I don't know. We can't all go, so I'm waiting to find out, but I don't know. But if you get a chance to go, you should. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Norman Reedus will be there. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Be careful of that guy. Chandler Riggs, Elena Masterson, Michael Cudlitz, Greg Nicotero, and more. It's 2,500 zombie fans and your favorite actors. It's a 3-day round trip cruise on the Norwegian Pearl, including all the usual cruise amenities.
Yeah.
And they say infinite new memories, one open ocean, and best vacation of your year. And I know everyone that I heard from that came back from that said it was a great time. I'm like, don't rub my nose in it, but they loved it.
Yes.
So you can hang out with the other fans of the show and enjoy incredible experiences. There'll be Q&As, panels, possibly moderated by me. I don't know. More celebrity guests, concerts, and a bunch of other activities, photos and autographs, like at Walker Stalker with your favorite celebrity guests. You have to pay extra for those. The cabins are filling up. So if you go to walkerstalkercruise.com/walkingdeadcast, you can book your cruise. That's walkerstalkercruise.com/walkingdeadcast. I hope that some of you get a chance to go. I know you're going to have a great time.
Let us know. Yeah. If you do go.
February. Yeah. Maybe I'll see you there. All right. Now it's time for Listener Moans, Groans, and Grunts. So we got more messages and email on this than any episode I can remember in a long time. We can't read even half of them. I wish we could, because there was a lot of interesting ones. And I didn't even have time to read them all, but I will. But I after I prepped it, I started reading more, and I'm like, I want to get more and more and more. But we only have so much time. We're going to read a bunch of them, but thanks to everyone who wrote or called in.
Okay, so this first one comes from Larry Blake, who writes, darkest episode by far. There is definitely a BN before Negan and an AN after Negan feel to the series now. No way someone would have begun watching tonight and say, hell yeah, I love the show. You have to be a 7-season watcher to stomach the darkness and know that somewhere, somehow, not today, not tomorrow, but a time will come and Rick will kiss this. Sorry, kill. Sorry. Kiss. Wow, I am sunshine and lollipops. We'll kill this MFer.
Yeah, man. If you're like, hey, you got to check out Walking Dead, you can probably just jump on right now.
Yeah.
Well, you're fucking sick, man.
What?
I don't want to be a friend anymore.
Or
it would be even scary if they're like, that was great. Okay, Megan Kleiman says, anyone else think there was a Bible feel to Carl about getting his arm chopped off? Negan playing God stops Rick playing Bible Abraham from hurting his son Carl, playing Isaac. What a way to show the audience what Rick was going through.
Ashley Haas writes, the eye. Daryl is going to feel like complete and utter crap. His actions and his alone got Glenn killed. Negan was done until he pulled that stunt. Yep. Maggie, I'll find you. I'm wrecked over here.
Do you think Daryl
feels bad? Yes.
Are you mad at him? No. Okay.
No. You know what? You'd have to be made of pure ice. No, it was a stupid thing to do. He should never have done it. But he was. You know what? On the other hand, all he was doing was taunting Rosita, and Rosita's a tough girl. So
yeah. I was mad at him. Actually, you know what I was?
I'm kind of mad.
I was
Now
like,
you mention it.
this is great because now we're going to get to see Daryl tortured, which is so sadistic. I know,
Look
you
at
guys.
you.
But also, let me put that another way. It'll be really interesting to see how this affects his character and give him some new stuff to work with, you know?
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duncan Kirk McPherson, I've heard that name before, says, wow, one of the most intense hours of TV I've seen. I was taken off guard by the double dose of Vampire Bat. Very shocking all the way through and emotionally unbearable at times. Beautifully executed, pun intended. And the comic to screen likeness was incredible at certain momentous moments. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is perfect as Negan. His theatricality and perma smirk are maniacal and Joker-esque. I felt like I was watching The Dark Knight for the first time in moments. I'm so glad that Negan and Lucille are finally here, and I'm super, super excited about where the series can go from this point. Rick just got a dose of the New World Order, and this show's going to feel like it's set in an entirely new world from here on out. Thanks, Duncan.
Thanks, Duncan. Jamie Dimmick writes, I feel so drained. Both deaths were true to the character, making them hurt even more. That dinner scene just killed me. I'm gonna go hug something. I was not ready for this episode, even though they gave us plenty of time to prepare.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Chris Plunkett says the entire episode felt like a repeated punch to the balls. Did it feel like that?
I guess.
I understand why it was before and after, and would not have enjoyed having this feeling after the finale. Season 6 finale and the season 7 premiere fit together so well. I thought it would be both of them, and for a split second I thought this was just going to be Abe. Going to miss Glenn and Abe and what they brought to the dynamic of the group.
Yep.
I know. What's Eugene going to be like without his Abraham?
He and Abraham were pretty nice together most of the time. Heather McKim writes, everyone is expressing my emotions, so no need to repeat it, but can we just take a moment to appreciate what an amazing badass Carl is becoming? Everyone always underestimates him, but he is always the sturdiest and most clear-headed of the group, and as he becomes a man, he will be a force to be reckoned with. The way he was staring back at Negan and the way he saves his dad by telling him to just do it. Wow, go Carl. Carl. Agreed.
Absolutely. Brianna Cummings. Well, I thought I might be able to detach from this episode since it's been so many months since the last one, and the fact that I've read the comic. Turns out I was wrong. The last words of Abe and Glenn stayed true to who they were. Abe's gave me a nice little laugh, and Glenn's, what did he say? Suck my nuts?
Uh-huh.
And Glenn's, Maggie, I'll find you, broke my heart. The real tears didn't come until the last scene, though, when they are all starting to move the bodies, and Rick says they were our family, too. It made me think about all the people I have in my life. I'm starting to break up here. By choice or circumstance, not blood, who I would do that for. Then I immediately went into my kitchen to grief eat my way through my birthday pizza and birthday cake. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I don't think I will fit into my pants tomorrow.
That's funny. Jade Walker says, short and sweet. They topped the comic with this one.
Hey, Jade. Nicholas Gomez says, it looks like Rick is at his lowest point since Lori's death. But everyone who knows Rick knows Negan will regret meeting the group. As Rick has said before, they do not know who they're fucking with. Hope you're right, dude.
I don't know.
Maybe they kind of do.
Maya Suzuki says, I was holding it together until I saw that dream sequence with Glenn bouncing his little Happa baby on his knee in the community dinner table. I'm so empty inside. I have a hole in my heart and I don't know how it will ever heal.
Oh, it'll be okay.
That's a cute baby.
Yeah. Richard Davenport says, God damn it, Daryl. Though neither of the head bashings were nearly as effective on me as when Negan was going to have Perick cut off Carl's arm, I was squirming at the thought. I never thought they would be able to top the shock factor of Negan's first appearance in the comics, but they sure as bitch nuts did.
Rob Wolf writes, wow, breathtaking. What a show. Negan, who was who we thought he was. 2 for 1. I love the play back and forth. The tension with right hand. Yes, it was brutal. Yes, it was graphic. But it was done so well. Glenn's death was straight from the comics. So well done. Damn, it was what we waited for. The show is back and I'm so glad.
Kathy Lund says, wow, I mean, my God, I can't even. I should have just left it at that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I kind of knew what was coming, but it was pretty heart and gut wrenching to actually see all of that. That's by far the most traumatizing event so far. I'm going to need you guys so bad this week. Hope we helped.
I don't know.
Let us know.
Sorry, Kathy. Nancy Ridgway writes, heart pounding, stomach clenching. effing unreal. I'm drained and invigorated all at the same time. Kudos to Scott Gimple for writing, and oh my God, would someone please finally give Andrew Lincoln an Emmy? He was outstanding. I'm usually able to detach pretty easily when a show gets too real, but I was completely unable to in this episode. I kept saying in my head, it's not real, it's not real. Like when you're in a haunted house and something, when he was screwing with Rick's mind about chopping, I can't even type it.
Susie Ian Beecham. I wonder if I said that right. I had to pause the episode after Glenn's death. I felt destroyed. I was convinced it would be Abraham, Daryl, or Glenn who met Negan's bat. This morning I woke up convinced it would be Glenn, so in a way I felt relieved when Abraham died, and not disappointed either. He would want to be the one to take one for the team.
He would.
Yeah. However, after Daryl hit Negan and Negan stood there near Glenn, I knew someone else would also die, and oh how I cried when it was Glenn. And my heart shattered when Maggie and Glenn looked at each other. I genuinely felt that I didn't want to watch the show anymore in that moment. And although I'm sure I will, I'm not sure I could rewatch this episode anytime soon. Me neither. I think that's twice as enough. The scene where they're all eating together with Glenn holding their child was perfect, however, and I'm glad that was our last image of Glenn and Abe.
Yep, agreed. John.
I wonder if there will be some flashbacks, but we'll see.
John Bucket writes, a quite literal double whammy. Brutal, shocking, even to a comic reader, and fantastically dark. Just what was required after the disappointments of Season 6. Let's hope Season 7 can maintain some better momentum from this powerful opener.
Jenny Berghofer says, oh my fuckity fucking God. I just finished the episode and I feel utterly traumatized. This episode was everything I wanted it to be. So good and so awful at the same time. I'm thrilled that it didn't play out exactly like I thought it would. My guess was always Abe, but Jesus fuck, I did not see Glenn coming. I cannot believe he killed both. Glenn's eye popping out was just horrific.
Yeah.
The bit with Carl's arm had me writhing in my seat. Me too. To see the group so demoralized is heartbreaking. I can't wait to see where they go from here. All around, just an amazing episode, worth the wait. I mean, if I thought they were just going to be demoralized for the rest of the series, then no one's going to want to watch that. But they're going to come back from it somehow, in some way. I mean, they're going to be scarred, but they're going to come back from it.
Okay. Terrence Shelton writes, I think the plot devices that most of us hated ended up working well. We hated the Glenn fake out, but I think it helped us prepare to cope for the real brutal death. Can you imagine that death without believing he was dead before, even if only for a second? We also hated the cliffhanger, but it works because the deaths were about breaking Rick completely down. That needed its own episode, and break him down they absolutely did. Wish the podcast was today. I need my therapy. Gotta grieve with my podcast family. Looking at you, Karen. Thanks, Shelton. Sorry, Terrence Shelton.
Aubrey Churchward says, the fact that Glenn turned to Maggie and spoke to her in this last moment shows how deeply he loved her. She's lost so many people close to her.
Yep.
I'm praying her baby survives so a small part of Glenn is left on this earth. Daryl's going to feel so much guilt over what happened. I think it'll haunt him forever and maybe create a change in his character. Well, I would hope so, because if it didn't, that would be pretty lame. Whatever.
Lindsay Schlicht says, this show has always been sad and desolate, but it remains entertainment for me because of the highs, the ass-kicking moments. After watching Abraham and my favorite, Glenn, die in such a way, and then to think about how much of a bummer the rest of the season is going to be, I'm honestly considering bailing. TV is supposed to be entertaining, and I feel like the season is going to be just like watching Theon being tortured for a year. That's Theon Greyjoy. I hope I'm wrong. Hated this episode. I hear you, Lindsay.
Rick Costa says, sorry, but I'm officially done with the show. The level of gratuitous violence was off the hook and did not need to be that excessive. Being a big fan, I've always loved how they try to salvage their humanity in this world. It's clearly lost, and in the process, they have lost this fan.
I know it. I know how you feel, Rick. You know what, though? The only thing I can say is that it might get better. It's got to get better, right? Ashley Martin says, I seriously think I am done with this show after this. I can't handle it anymore. To be completely honest, at one point I was like, all right, that's it. I'm done. I mean, I really considered it. But then I thought, no, it can't be like this all season long. But maybe it will be. I don't know.
What if it's not? I mean, is that okay then? Or is it not okay because they already did experience this?
What?
Like, you have this kind of an episode that you give a 1, and let's say you have 3.5s and 4s and 4.5s for the rest of the season, then is that enough? Or is just the fact that you had to have an episode like this?
Yeah. If it doesn't remain, I think I said before that I didn't want this episode, this whole series, this whole story that Kirkman's telling. I didn't want it to be a race to the bottom. I didn't want it to be a slow descent to the bottom. I didn't want it to be about how awful humanity is. And, in this episode, the nowadays the zombies are just like flies that you swat, and they mean nothing really, except, wow, look at them come apart in interesting ways. Oh, check this one out. It stretches in interesting ways. You reach over here and then pull his neck. And so, yeah, I honestly, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel after this season. I'm a hopeful person. And maybe I'm not even by nature. Maybe I'm trying to choose to be optimistic in my life. And this series is definitely dragging me down, and it's making me feel less optimistic about humanity and people. And that's not what I need in my life. So if it doesn't get lighter, if it doesn't come up and show us a worldview where there's hope, it's going to be a hard slog for me.
Well, let's just look at the history of the series. So from day one, we've had good people, and they've throughout the years continually introduced good people over and over again. And from day one, we've had people dying in horrible ways, sometimes by the hand of the zombie, sometimes by the hand of bad people. And we've also had them from day one, maybe not even day one, but pretty close to it. Merle was probably episode 2, introducing assholes who were dangerous. And that's been the case throughout the whole series too. So I don't see that changing. They're going to keep introducing good people, and they're going to keep introducing bad people, and there's going to be a lot of conflict. That's what this show is.
Yeah, this seemed to be a whole new...
It was a new level. It was really, really dark. Very, very dark. Yeah. And I would bet anything that we're not going to see an episode this dark again.
Okay.
For a long time,
I
if
hope
ever.
Not.
Yeah. But it's going to be dark though. It's a dark show, It's this was very, very, very dark. The darkest, like I said when I opened up the podcast, this was the darkest episode we've seen in this series. But I don't know. There's no guarantees. Robin Springer says, I agree. Just sick. Bad guys are one thing. Sick fuckers is another.
Jennifer Dennert writes, I know there are many Walking Dead fans who are angry, resentful, and resistant to the way that our premiere played out. I, for one, am grateful for the Negan arc. I am immensely impressed with the actor and his manifestation of the character. I am reinvigorated by the fall of Rick, who is one of my favorite characters. He desperately needed this man made foreshadowing of what his choices were. He desperately needed this man made foreshadowing of what his...
Man made foreshadowing. You had it right in the first place.
Man made foreshadowing of what his choices were leading them to, and who he would become without being reined in. Yin and yang. This is what brings the momentum of change, of redemption, of evolution. Negan is a consequence of their choices. He is what Morgan warned them about. Negan is a wake-up call, a deepening and awakening. Without the devil, how do we come to see the right way, the good in others, the good in ourselves?
It sounds like you're getting depressed when you hear that other people like this episode. Because you were in a fine mood until we got the listeners section, and now I can see you're really affected by this. So I'm wondering what's going on with you.
No, that's great. That actually, Jennifer.
Well, no, I'm just responding to what I see is actually happening here. Because you were laughing and it was fun and everything while we were doing our top 5, and now that we've started reading this, you seem really upset. So
just thinking about it more.
Just thinking about the episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Emily Reeves says, Karen, don't quit the show. It'll get better, I think.
And Boris Gradina writes, she's done. We'll never hear Karen again. That's funny. Sorry, Boris. I'm here, baby.
For at least to see if the next episode's any better.
That's right. That's right.
Emails. Heather Costa says, let me first start by expressing my condolences to Karen. I know Glenn was your favorite. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thanks, baby.
Hey, that happened last time when everyone thought Glenn died. No one seemed to remember that he's my favorite too. Oh, that's fine. So overall, last night's episode was great. We know who was killed, and Andrew Lincoln and JDM's performances were great. My only issues was I wasn't as into it as I feel I should be. I can't figure out if it's because the action was split between the seasons and maybe the time dulled my enthusiasm, or if it's because I was unintentionally spoiled during the summer. I was screaming at the TV during Glenn's dumpster death. I know other people have had strong reactions to last night. What's wrong with me?
Nothing, Heather.
I mean, I felt that way too until about 2 hours ago or 3 hours ago. And I thought it was because I knew I was spoiled on it and also the comic. But then I watched it again and I really did just start sobbing. So watch it again. See what happens. Also, I'm curious if you were affected by the stuff with Carl and his arm and all that stuff.
This next one comes from Paul, who writes, hi, Jason and Karen. Hope you guys are well and coping okay. I thought the season premiere was incredible. Andrew Lincoln and Jeffrey Dean Morgan both deserve awards. I wrote to a friend earlier that Jeffrey Dean Morgan makes a better Negan than the comic book Negan. As much as I enjoyed hating the comic book version, there was always an unrealistic feel to him. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan was just the perfect asshole and came across perfectly as he could inspire so much fear and raise such an army. When Abraham died, I thought, oh, you fuckers, what a cop-out. Having rewatched the second half of season 6, I was still considering him a prick in the way that he dumped Rosita, so I wasn't feeling much remorse, which probably doesn't speak well of me as a therapist. When Daryl got up and punched Negan, I thought, great. And oh shit, someone else is going to die. As tragic as it was seeing Glenn died, I thought they did a masterful job of translating some of the most powerful moments from the comic to the screen. It sucked, but it was awesome. I love Glenn and had some tears welling up for him and the crew. Poor Daryl, he was already feeling shitty enough. Anyway, I'll stop there. I'm very impressed. Thanks for everything you put into each podcast. Thanks for writing.
Thank you. This is from Vanessa Ing. No, not Glenn. Heart smashes into a billion pieces. Aw. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this episode. I need therapy. That was rough. Even the title of this episode hurts my heart. After Abraham's skull got crushed to a pulp, I was not expecting a second death. Being a fan of the comics, it was pretty cool to see Glenn's death play out on TV. That pop-out eye was incredible. But man, did it hurt. His parting words, Maggie, I will find you, just crushed me and left me feeling so hollow inside. I found myself wondering why I'm even still watching this stupid, brilliant show. As fans of the comic, we know Rick's right hand is living on borrowed time. I loved how the writers teased us with that knowledge through the bulk of the episode. I winced every time that axe came close to Rick. For a hot minute, I really thought they were going to take Carl's arm. Jason, that scene must have been so hard for you, I imagine. Yep. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is so dang charming, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the season plays out. Our group is never going to be the same again. I'm going to miss Glenn so much. He was truly the heart of the group. Love you, Glenn. Lots of love and hugs and Kleenex for everyone. Excuse me while I go to a corner and ponder my own mortality. That sounds like a good idea.
It does.
I think I actually, honestly, how I open this episode, I feel like we can get something good out of this, even if it's just opening up to our feelings of sadness a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? Or ponder your own mortality. Okay, now we have some calls. Again, we got a whole bunch of calls, but can't play them all, but we'll play a few. This is Becky from Savannah.
Hey, guys, it's Becky from Savannah. I don't know how you guys are going to do a top 5 today because that was like just one horrible depression fest, and I regret everything that I said about demanding that it be a major character because it would have been, not enough payoff to have just been Abraham. Now, after watching it, I wish it had just been Abraham, and I feel very stupid and very selfish and very foolish, and it was just horrible. We had a bunch of people over for a party to watch it, and we were all like laughing, having a good time, and then the show came on, and it was like Oh, well, everyone just kind of went home after that because we were all just so depressed.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm hoping to get a little positivity from you guys. Karen, I'm counting on you today. So,
Oh, God.
anyway, love you guys. Keep it up. And here's my zombie sound.
Oh, nice zombie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becky.
That was awesome.
Sorry, I didn't bring much positivity to today's
No,
episode.
that's okay. I'm glad you're honest. Hopefully people appreciate that. And don't just pretend to be happy about something you're not happy about.
I'm not happy about it.
The party that she mentioned reminded me of this blind date, or not blind date, but it was a first date where I took this girl to see this movie that ended up being about this woman who liked to sleep with corpses. Not a good first date.
You romantic.
And we sort of went home like kind of weirded out, separate ways.
You didn't keep dating?
Nope. That was it. That was it. Actually, it's funny because I don't know if I can put this on the podcast, but she and I met at a party. We had a one night stand and we were drunk and it was amazing. And then we did this date, a sober date, and that was it. And we're like, oh God. And then like years later, she wrote to me on Facebook and was like, why did we never, after we had that night, why didn't we stay together? I'm like, because then we went to the movie with the corpses. And she's all, oh yeah. And I was sliding down a banister on the way to the movie and I cut my hand, so I had a tissue full of blood in my hand the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, no, you should totally keep this in the podcast.
All right.
That's
okay.
funny.
Next is Sammy from Australia.
Hi, Jason and Karen. My name's Sammy from Australia. I've just finished watching the episode and that shit was fucked. Like, that was some red wedding shit right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like maybe they've gone too far. Maybe I'm too fresh from it. And, it's not the best show to watch when you're going through some shit.
Yeah.
But
No.
I don't know. I'm a bit speechless. I don't even know why I'm recording this, but
I'm so glad you are.
At what point is this show just a bit too much? I might need to give it a break for a while. We'll see. I'll at least still keep listening to you guys because you guys are awesome. I've been listening to you guys for a couple of years now. I'm sure you may be having very similar reaction, especially you, Karen.
She's right.
Oh, fuckity fuck.
There.
Jesus. Fuck.
It was.
Anyway.
Love her.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you guys know next week whether I keep listening. I hope you guys are okay after this episode.
Thanks.
Anyway, thank you very much for being awesome and yeah. Bye.
Bye, Sammy. Love you. Oh my God, I love her so much.
Yeah.
Call back and let us know how you're doing.
That's the most sincere fuckity fuck I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I'm going to clip that out and keep it.
Awesome.
Thank you. All right. Next is Lauren from Sacramento. One of my favorite callers.
Hey guys, I gotta say, that was the most intense episode of anything I think I've ever seen. I mean, like, my stomach was hurting during that. At the end, when Maggie finally gets the breakdown over Glenn, like, I had tears coming out. And at the same time, I really loved Negan, even though, like, we should hate him. And he was just so logical and reasonable and, like, making sense in a weird way. He had me laughing when we shouldn't be laughing. So I was just, like, very confused. And, I mean, it was Daryl that killed Glenn after all. I mean, that's obvious. And I just gotta say, the show is never going to be the same, but I'm really looking forward to where it's going, and we all need to bond together in this moment of terrible loss and just spread the love, man. Spread the love.
Thanks, Lauren.
Yeah, that was good, dude. I should have just played your call at the beginning.
Yeah, spread the love, man.
All right, this is Tori from Texas.
Hi, Jason, Karen, and the whole Walking Dead cast team. My name's Tori McCarthy. I'm calling from sunny Austin, Texas. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller, but last night's premiere definitely inspired me, we'll say, to give you guys a call. Yeah, probably one of the toughest episodes of any TV show ever to watch. Generally, I don't usually have a problem with, like, gore and things like that, especially for a show like The Walking Dead, but they really went there. But first of all, I want to say major, hats off to Michael Cutlitz, who I always loved his portrayal of Abraham, even though over the seasons I felt that Abraham's storyline wasn't necessarily handled that well. And I am sad to see him go out on kind of like a villainous note. I mean, people weren't that happy with Abraham of late, so, that makes me sad. But Abraham's backstory has always been one of the most, heart-wrenching for me. And so Mike Cutlitz, amazing job. You did great. You were really, killed it. Next, ditto for Stephen Yoon. Definitely a huge loss for the fandom and for the show. After Rick, Glenn was our longest, standing character. He's the second character we basically ever meet in the Walking Dead universe, so it's a huge loss to see him go.
No, she got cut off. Yeah, I guess you're right, Morgan, huh?
Thanks, Tori.
He was gone for a long time.
Love you, baby.
Yeah, thank you. Nice little tribute there.
Yes.
Next, Lucy from Scotland. Lucy.
Hey, Karen and Jason. Wow. Okay, so that broke me. Months of stress dreams about Negan, and that I guess paid off in a massive way. In a strange sort of way, I am glad it was Glenn and it did go with the comic book trajectory, because I think it will pay off in the season to come. But rather than dwell on kind of the horror of that episode, I just wanted to think about some of the bits that were hopeful or full of love or good feeling for the characters. And Abraham comforting Sasha, just flashing her that little peace sign, even though he was about to get killed. The way that they all rallied around Maggie, the way that Rosita and Sasha looked at each other over Abraham's body. There's still hope for these guys. I really do believe that. I don't usually thole the Talking Dead. It's not a huge thing here in the UK, but I did download it and watched it just now, and it was quite a good palate cleanser to see the cast all laughing and glamorous and
they were
kind of cathartic. I really hope that everyone is okay, regardless of what you thought about the episode, and I am looking forward to this season, despite everything. Said, guys.
That was awesome.
Lucy, you're so wonderful. Thank you.
So much.
Oh my God. Lucy, you can call anytime. I love your accent. It's so beautiful.
It was really nice to hear too.
She brought up another good point. I forgot. He flashed Sasha the peace sign. I forgot about that. Did you catch that when he did that? Yeah, he did it real low and down here, but he flashed her and he's like,
too bad he didn't have something for Rosita too,
I know. but
that's cool.
But it was wonderful, and you're right, Lucy. There's a lot of hopeful things still ahead, and in fact, I'm going to mention that on the next segment, which is
next week. Yeah,
next week on The Walking Dead.
But before that, we have Comic Talk, which I will be doing with Grace because Mr. Blog is in his voice acting class. Thanks everybody who wrote and called in. If you didn't get your message read, try again next time. Here we go. All right, here we are, Jason and Grace. Who never podcast together. It's been like a long time.
I know, it has been a long time.
It's cool. Well, Mr. Blog, he's in his voice acting class, right? Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think of the episode?
Oh, are we recording?
Yep.
I thought we were chatting.
Nope.
It was awful. I was so stressed the entire time.
Karen almost quit.
I almost quit.
Really?
I felt like I would.
Really?
I don't know.
But the story.
I know. She kind of knew the story too, because I remember you throwing issue 100 at her one time.
I mean, I kept telling her too, but she she kept saying, what would be good is if they would just skip the whole thing and be like 3 months later. And I'm like, don't think that's going to happen.
No,
that's not going to happen. But hopefully she came around by the end. I think that some of the listeners cheered her up. Anyway, so you were really just down about it. You didn't appreciate it.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I was hurting so much I couldn't really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I guess I was holding it in. I didn't cry during the episode.
Me neither. I couldn't feel it. And then today, when I watched it the second time, I actually started sobbing.
Yeah, there was no way I could watch it a second time. And actually, I didn't really even watch it the first time. I just kind of hid behind my hand and I had my head averted. I did like peek one time at a really bad point when Glenn's eyeball is popping out and got
like
that visual that was just exactly like the comics. You know, and I got a little choked up during the meal scene, but I didn't cry till later. I was trying to hash it out with talk it with a friend of mine and work through it and all that. And so I cried then. And which is a big improvement over the comics when I cried for 3 days off and on.
Really? I mean, I was telling Karen, personally, I feel like it's a release to grieve like that, especially when it's over a character that is just a character and I can go see Stephen Yeun at Walker Stalker Con. Yeah. It's an emotional release. But I don't know. I can imagine people saying, no, I don't buy that. I just don't want to feel like that.
Yeah, I guess so. But, I was kind of hardened after this long wait for it, I think. If that had been shown the end of last season, I would have been much more of a mess, even though I knew it was coming, Yeah. So,
well, let's talk about the comic a little bit, since that's what this is supposed to be. I just want to mention a couple of things first. Is that all right with you?
Sure.
Because my memory for the comic isn't great. I mean, I've been going through issue 100 a little bit here, but I just thought it was interesting. Of course, Daryl's not in the comic, so he gets to be the wild card here. And also, Abraham's not. He was around though, wasn't he? Was he?
No, he had died shortly before this.
He did. Okay. So Abraham's not around, and that means he's a wild card in the episode. So I like to kind of think that maybe Negan would have picked Glenn if Abraham wasn't there, but he picked Abraham. And then because Daryl's another wild card, he ended up causing the comic book to come true. Daryl.
Yeah, it was interesting because as much as they added in the TV show to the scene, because it was a fairly short scene, horrible but short scene in the comic.
Yeah.
But as much as they added, they really kept so much the same. The dialogue, the feel.
Yeah. Some of the exact dialogue. Yeah.
And I say this. I have never read issue 100 again, and I never will.
Oh, really? So you didn't? Okay. Yeah. I can see that. And you're not going to watch this episode again either, huh?
No, and I'm not going to watch this again. And
the episode. Well, I thought the comic hit me harder just because it was the first time I'd been exposed to that. Mm-hmm. But I think the episode would have, because it's real. It's on screen.
Yeah, and if you didn't know it was coming and weren't prepared for that, because just live action. And I just think. Yeah, just the fact that they're flesh and blood people, even though it's acting.
But it was still hard. I mean, you said you cried for 3 days, and that comic hit me harder than probably any other comic. Maybe the Michonne one with the governor. But but to lose Glenn, though.
Yeah, to lose Glenn in that horrific way. And what stuck with me in the comic and what they did really well in such an awful way with the TV show is just when Maggie is calling out when Glenn is calling out to Maggie, and of course they kind of add a line in the comic. He's just calling, trying to say Maggie's name, and here he says, what does he say? I'll find you. And
they did such a good job of making him sound like his brain wasn't really working too well.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah. And the whole like kind of stammering, kind of trying to get it out. I mean, that was just right there.
And the eyeball.
In the comic. The eyeball, yep. Mm-hmm. The eyeball. And the whole Negan said those exact same lines in the comic with are you in there, buddy? It seems like you're trying to speak, but you took a hell of a hit or something like that, and your eye popped out. It looks gross. And that's exactly like I remember from the comic.
And he said, it's a vampire bat. Lucille's thirsty. She's a vampire bat. Mm-hmm. Was that a bad joke or whatever it was?
Yeah, was that a bad joke? And then Rick, same threat to kill Negan. just like the comic. You know, I'm gonna kill you.
Here's the thing
might not
that
be
was
today.
really different, though. I thought in the comic, like you said, it was short. Rick's like, "I'm going to kill you, maybe not now, but someday," and then Negan said something like, "I can get a couple of my guys to run a train on Carl right now that a few of them would be into it." And then the comic ended pretty quickly after that. So it ended with...
Well, he kind of gives Rick a beat down.
Oh, does he?
He basically threatens Carl, basically puts Rick in his place, gives him a beat down. It wasn't the long drawn out psychological
Oh yeah, he just
that he
smacked
got
him.
in the show.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You have a good memory. But yeah, it wasn't, and the big difference in this episode was just the breaking of Rick.
Yes.
That did not happen in the comic. When Negan left Rick in the comic, he was still pissed off and defiant. Mm-hmm. And you know, I didn't believe for a second that he was just going to leave it at that. In the show, it was totally believable that he just reduced him to rubble. Yes, he seems completely broken, and just the whole experience in the RV and all that.
Mm-hmm. He's, and you know, of course, the whole scene with Carl and the potential arm chopping off, that never happened in the comic, but that is what they really showed how they broke him down in the TV show, and you know, they did a good job. It was effective, but very different. What I love is you get a lot of the same lines, but it's so cool that Kirkman is working for the show, because when there's new Negan lines, they're the same voice. And my favorite, at least I don't think this was in the comic, they're driving around in the RV and they smash into a zombie and its head splats across the windshield and he goes, "Does that remind you of anyone you know?" That's awful. Yeah. I know. And I think here's the thing is, people who don't know the comic are not ready to laugh at Negan yet. So I'm not ready to laugh at Negan. I know. In the TV show. I wonder if Mr. Blog will stop idolizing him so much for a little while now after seeing this. Yeah, I mean, it's hard because where we are in the comic is a very different spot. And so to go back we've had time to forget about this, or at least to have the emotional impact of it fade, so that we can, because Negan has those same funny lines throughout, but you can't appreciate him right now, and I couldn't in the comic at this point either. Oh sure, no. But now I can in the comic, or at least I could before this weekend. True. I might feel differently next time I open up the comic. And I also felt like in the comic or at least for me, Glenn was always my favorite, but I felt like the comic we had Heath, and of course we have Heath in the TV show, but he's just not awesome. I think he's going to be gone. He's not the same Heath. Yeah. And so I feel like we don't have anyone to kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say replace Glenn because that sounds terrible, but someone just a character that feel. We can, Well, I mean, what about Jesus? But he's a badass ninja. He's not, I liked Glenn because he was just a real person. Yeah, I get you. He wasn't like super badass, and Heath is he's just a regular person that stepped up. They're just regular people that kind of stepped up and kind of never really lost themselves. That's one way the show feels different than the comic to me, is that it feels like it's a bunch of superheroes, or comic. Sure. The show's almost more comic booky than the comic book is. In some ways, though, of course we have, Jesus and Michonne are very, very... They are, you're right, yeah. Superhero-y, and even in the comic. But it seems like the comic has more real, down-to-earth people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway. But anyway. What, anything else? Well, of course... Like we sort of talked about at the top, Abraham does not die in this manner. He's already dead in the comic. He got Denise's arrow through the eye. Yeah. And I think the other thing I was thinking of is just last night when I was watching, is Maggie's reaction is very, very different in the comic. I think she's like pissed at Rick, and I don't know if she hits him or threatens him or whatever, but she's basically blames him for Glenn's death. And like there's a big fight, I think, because Sophia is there. Little Sophia is there because she's alive, and she's with Maggie, and she's big buds with Carl, and I think they get in a little tuffle and all this. So the aftermath was a lot different, had a different feel to it as well. But that was the main thing, I think, that I thought of in addition to what we talked to.
We might get some of that, but it doesn't seem like it, huh? It seems like they're going a different way with it.
Yeah, it seems like it. Which, that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally cool. I mean, do you feel like they should not have done this?
I think it would have been a cop-out not to do this. But I think it's excessive. The violence that is shown, I felt it was excessive in the comic at this point.
Yeah.
And I felt it was excessive
in the show.
In the TV show as well. And I've really only felt like that with the TV show, like maybe one or two other times. But this is, I think...
This is the darkest episode of the show so far.
Yeah, this is by far the darkest, because human on human is always much worse.
Yeah. And just how a whole show that's all about degrading and shaming and humiliating.
Yes, and the joy that Negan is getting out of it is just
sick,
nauseating. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for that. Was Comic Talk. No, we should probably.
It's so funny because last night I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to call Jason and tell him that I just can't do Comic Talk.
Oh, really?
And I thought I'd cry, but I'm okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
You can only mourn a character for
some people are going to be upset
years.
that I would laugh at all, but
yeah,
there were during the podcast I almost cried a couple of times too. So we're just all over the map.
Yeah, well, that's how I've been. It's just kind of like up and down, kind of crazy. But anyway,
thanks a lot. It was fun to podcast with you again. Next week, I think you'll be with Mr. Blog because we're going to be recording on Tuesday. So
okay,
cool,
sounds good.
All right. Thanks so much to Grace for that comic talk that we haven't recorded yet, but I'm sure it was awesome. Now it's time for next week on The Walking Dead.
Next week on The Walking Dead, Season 7, Episode 2, The Well. And the description is, Maggie wakes up from her fever dream to find out that everything is A-okay. No, that's not.
That was Dallas. That happened.
I know. Who shot JR?
No, it was his brother Bobby.
Oh,
it was
really?
Like a couple of years later.
Oh, that's funny.
He got killed and he was dead for a whole season. And they're like, we don't like the way any of those storylines went. So the next season after that, he came out of the shower and his wife it was all a dream.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hopefully that will happen, but it probably won't. Here's the description, the official description. Following a number of familiar faces, we are introduced to a new, well-established community that seems too good to be true. And we get I saw a little video a little next week on, and we got to meet. It looks like we're going to be able to meet King Ezekiel. We see Morgan wheeling Carol through the kingdom. That's kind of neat. So I'm excited about that. I really honestly am. And word on the street, by the way, is, I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw something about the episode running a little bit longer next week.
Oh, really?
So yeah, if you record the episodes, be sure to adjust your recording device if that's how you roll.
I read a little quote. This is a little bit spoilery, but this section is all kind of spoilery. It's from Nicotero. He says about the kingdom, it's the biggest community that we've ever come upon. Carol and Morgan show up there, and it's thriving, and it's alive, and it's vibrant. And even when I directed the episode, when I was editing it, it was the Walking Dead version of The Wizard of Oz. If the outside is black and white, dull, dead world, the inside is a vibrant, colorful, and whimsical and alive. And it's all led by a dude with a scepter and a fucking tiger named Ezekiel. So the script had a very strange tenor to it because it was very unlike anything that we'd done in The Walking Dead ever.
The dude's named Ezekiel. The tiger's named something else.
Shiva.
Of course. It'd be funny if it was King Sheba and the tiger is Ezekiel.
Tory Ling.
Fuck.
What does it mean to live for the common good? Introducing the Garrison Institute presents The Common Good, the brand new podcast from the Garrison Institute, a leading not-for-profit organization exploring the intersection of contemplation and engaged action in the world. Hosted by me, Jonathan F.P. Rose, a co-founder of the Garrison Institute, the series dives into the threads that bind us all. First, you'll discover the